Disco Elysium is praised for its narrative depth and character development. In this video, I am arguing that the best way to experience it is to play using a high Shivers trait. Doing so myself, the game transformed into a deeply personal journey unmatched by any other. Welcome everyone to my ASMR gaming channel, where I make you relax talking about games and playing them too. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe for more relaxing gaming content. Every gamer has a game that's deeply etched into their soul, where visuals, story, and soundtrack become unforgettable memories. For some, this connection is so profound that each replay unveils new discoveries, revealing layers and details previously unnoticed. Disco Elysium is that game for me. For those unfamiliar with it, let's start by looking at the basics. Disco Elysium is a role-playing game set against the backdrop of a world scarred by its turbulent recent past. You assume the role of Harry Dubois, an out-of-luck detective that due to some personal events is now a raging alcoholic with many additional self-destructive habits. You have been sent to the district of Martinez, a small corner of the sprawling city of Revachol, once the capital of the world, to investigate a murder. As you navigate Martinez, you engage with its inhabitants, gather evidence, and tackle side quests, going through a complex and tangled main plot. At first glance, it seems pretty standard. However, Disco Elysium sets itself apart because it does not have a traditional combat system. Instead, progression is achieved through conversations and ability checks, essentially dice rolls, linked to the various personality traits that Harry juggles in his mind. You see, Harry Dubois is a complex man. He's got many voices talking in his head, and depending which ones are more prominent, they will intervene during the conversations Harry has with the various NPCs, or while he walks around, or when he examines an object. These traits are categorized into 4 groups: intellect, psyche, physique, and motorics, each containing 6 unique traits. So you can have logic, drama, perception, reaction speed, endurance, volition, and many others. From the outset, you decide the type of cop Harry will be, whether to specialize in one group or have them more balanced. As the game progresses, you further refine your character by allocating skill points to specific traits within each group. This system ensures that it's unlikely 2 playthroughs will be exactly the same. Your choices can both unlock and obstruct different story paths by influencing NPC reactions to your sometimes weird questions and your ability to interact with the environment. Harry has got many conflicting personalities that all cohabit his persona, and it's up to you to decide to which ones give more voice and prominence. However, there's a flip side to all this goodness. The game's pace is deliberately slow with an emphasis on text-heavy interactions, though fully voiced, with outstanding performances by the voice actors. Players that don't like reading might find it daunting, yet it would be a missed opportunity, as the game's narrative is exceptional, offering branching options and nuances that immerse you in the fictional world of Disco Elysium and its millennia of turmoil. From the derelict district of Martinez to the bustling yet dangerous streets of Jamrock and the futuristic La Delta, the game paints a vivid picture of its world and its history. Of the various personality traits you can favor, one stands out in my view. It's the Shivers. In pure Disco Elysium fashion, it was only in my third playthrough, I think, that I had this trait high enough to be able to experience its full strength, and from that moment on, there was no going back for me. What exactly do the Shivers do to Harry? This trait creates a sort of supernatural connection between the protagonist and the city of Revachol, heightening his awareness of his surroundings and enabling him to hear the city. The Shivers manifest in two distinct ways. Initially, they emerge as fleeting thoughts in various moments, like a sudden chill from a gust of wind that sharpens Harry's awareness of his location, giving both Harry and the player a better understanding of the story's setting. This is particularly useful since Harry is affected with temporary amnesia after having spent the whole weekend drinking and partying. In other instances, the Shivers reveal hidden details in the environment, from secret messages hatched on a mailbox to vivid snapshots of distant life across Revachol, like the image of a woman leaving a video rental store under the rain, or the exact description of a room several miles away. Or it might be glimpses of past events linked to objects that Harry has just found and examined. If you pay close attention, some of these insights from the Shivers hint at future events and encounters, suggesting that the city is helping Harry. By the way, the city is personified as a female. This undertext, if you want, is very subtle and cryptic, but it gives you the idea that the city is somewhat guiding Harry because he's important to her. The second, rarer manifestation of Shivers allows Harry to hear Revachol's voice directly. Intense, comforting whispers that guide or reassure him at critical moments. For example, the city might suggest Harry not to read an old note that only contains bad memories, or confirms to Harry that the intuition he just had is indeed correct, and he shouldn't doubt himself. The peak is reached, attention here for a minor spoiler, when Harry collapses on the floor of a church after having danced too much and engages in a profound conversation with the city during his brief unconsciousness. You see, during the game you progressively understand how much of a broken man Harry is and where it all came from. His colleagues seem fed up by him and by his erratic, self-destructive behavior. Furthermore, Harry himself seems to have lost confidence in his capabilities and does not want to be a cop anymore. And yet, when the city speaks to him, she's trying to comfort him. She knows Harry. She has seen all that has happened to him and wants to protect him. She wants to protect all her inhabitants. Revachol is portrayed as a living, sentient entity, deeply connected to her inhabitants. Valuing Harry's role as officer of the Revachol citizen militia and his efforts in maintaining order amidst chaos, this intricate blend of elements fosters a deep emotional connection with the game and its characters. The moments Harry connects with the city add layers of complexity to the game. They place him and his partner, Kim Kitsuragi, within a rich historical tapestry. Martinez becomes more than a setting. It's a nexus of thousands and thousands of intersecting lives and stories, each striving to be heard over the others. Yet, amidst this narrative cacophony, Harry is not alone, even though he doesn't fully realize it. The dialogue in the church serves as a powerful allegory for the interconnectedness of individuals and their environments, suggesting our identities and destinies are profoundly intertwined with the spaces we inhabit. And what about you? Do you feel a deep connection to the place where you live? Do you think it's affecting you in one way or another? For a significant portion of my life, I too have lived in a sprawling big city, having moved from my much smaller place. This transition was not without its challenges, amplified by the cultural shock of finding myself in a foreign country too. By playing the game and feeling the city alive, talking to Harry, and to me by extension, it kind of reminded me of my experience. Big cities, with their relentless pace and vast anonymity, can often lead to a sense of isolation. Caught in the ceaseless rhythm of daily life, it's all too easy to feel like a mere drop in a vast ocean, losing touch with the very essence of our surroundings. I found a way to reconnect to the city through an unexpected avenue: photography, specifically street photography. Wandering the city's less beaten paths in search for the perfect moment to capture, I began to feel a deeper bond with my urban environment. There were moments while waiting for the perfect click when I would simply sit and listen to the city's background hum, its cacophony of sounds, and the myriad stories each voice carried. Gradually, the city transformed in my eyes. It was no longer an indifferent amalgam of concrete and steel, but a vibrant tapestry of life and color. The city's inhabitants ceased to be mere shadows or obstacles in my daily commute. They became living, breathing beings, each with their own stories and struggles. Reflecting on it now, the only element missing was the city speaking back to me, as it did with Harry. Yet, in a way, through my lenses and my presence, I was contributing my own verse to the city's ongoing narrative, keeping its spirit alive and infusing it with meaning. Like Harry, I too, in my own personal way, chose order over chaos. The notion of a city as a living entity extends beyond the realm of fiction. Urban psychology, a relatively modern field pioneered by Charles LANDRY and Chris Murray, looks into the symbiotic relationship between urban environments and their inhabitants. Central to their theory is the idea that there is a two-way psychological process. The city impacts upon our mind, and our mental and emotional state impacts upon the city. Individuals possess distinct personalities and identities. So do cities, as they are congregations of individuals. This interaction gives rise to the urban psyche, a complex collective personality formed through the dynamic interplay between people and place. Our experiences within different urban spaces profoundly affect our sense of self, energy levels, aspirations, community commitment, and overall well-being. Landy and Murray introduced the concept of psychological resilience, referring to a city's capacity to adapt to adversity and complexity, to recover swiftly and to maintain functionality, and to provide the conditions in which its inhabitants can achieve those same outcomes as well. This approach underscores the essential positive feedback loop between urban environments and their residents. The authors identify a variety of urban elements, from opportunities for self-improvement and the appreciation of diversity to the accessibility of cultural events, quiet spaces, and parks that contribute to individual growth. In turn, this nurtures the city, creating a beneficial cycle. They also cite the need to cultivate a sense of citizenship, ensuring residents are aware of their rights and responsibilities, the expected behaviors, and the benefits they can derive from their urban coexistence. The field of urban psychology is both fascinating and complex, and going any deeper would require a video on its own. However, within the context of Disco Elysium, the Shivers trait masterfully encapsulates the essence of this discipline, in my view. It enriches the gaming experience by immersing the player in a vibrant, interconnected urban tapestry, where they are just one story among many unfolding simultaneously. This trait not only adds depth to the game, but also mirrors the intricate web of interactions that define our relationship with real-world cities, making the player want to explore and experience the many stories the city of Revachol is witnessing. Disco Elysium is a rather complex game to play. Its depth is truly captivating, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts on the game. Were there aspects that resonated with you as deeply as the Shivers did with me? Have you experienced your own version of the Shivers in the city you live? Share your stories in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and that this ASMR session was both relaxing and informative at the same time. Don't forget to check my other videos following the links on the screen or in the description. Also, like and subscribe so I can bring you more content like this. Until next time, take care and stay relaxed. Bye bye.